Hey guys, welcome back to Sparkman Homestead. My name is Krista. Today I have what looks like a really yummy recipe that we are going to try to make together. I was searching for a strawberry cheesecake recipe because it is berry season here now in southern Kentucky, and I found this what looks really delicious no bake strawberry cheesecake. So I thought that we would make it today. However, we are not going to be using strawberries. I went raspberry picking this morning. Got lots of beautiful raspberries. So I picked 2 gallons of raspberries this morning. The raspberry place actually opened up at 7 a.m. and they open up that early because of our humidity and our heat that we get here. So I went at 7 this morning and I went and picked some raspberries. And I thought this is the perfect recipe to make because I don't need to put my oven on, which I'm not wanting to do today. The other thing that I want to show you guys today is I went and picked my Azure standard order up yesterday. The truck actually got in at 8:30 p.m. So it was a really late pickup. I guess the truck had issues and our pickup just kept getting delayed and finally at 8:30 at night it was there. So it was a pretty late night last night. I live about 40 minutes away from where I actually pick up my stuff. So we didn't get home until super late. So I didn't actually film an Azure standard haul like I normally do. The other reason I didn't film one is just because my order, more than 50% of it actually didn't ship. They were out of stock on a lot of stuff that I'd actually ordered. So I just thought I would throw it in with this video for you guys. If you're here for the Azure Standard haul, it will be probably mid-video. And then if you're just here for the recipe, you can just skip through that haul. So let's get started on making this cheesecake. The crust actually uses Oreo cookies. I was looking for a recipe that actually used Oreo cookies. We went to Costco probably about maybe a month and a half ago, and for some reason, both me and Steven thought that it would be a good idea to pick up a bulk size box of Oreo cookies. I don't know what we were thinking. Like, there's no way that we are going to eat this whole box. That is shopping 100% hungry. We don't normally eat processed food like this. So the fact that I bought a massive, huge box full of Oreos, I don't know what I was thinking. Anyways, I'm needing to find recipes that are using Oreos. So this recipe uses it as the crust, which is really awesome. So I will leave this recipe linked for you guys if you want to give it a try. This recipe is really awesome because it actually has different measurements included with it. It has like cup measurements, the US metric measurements, and it also has the gram measurements, which I really appreciate because with certain things I really like to try to make sure that I'm getting like exactly on the dot, but I'm going to be kind of doing a little mishmash of both of the measurements. In the food processor, we're gonna add 7 ounces of just whole cookies. We're not gonna break them up. We're not gonna do anything with it. And then we are going to add a 1/4 cup of butter or 50 grams of butter melted. And we're just gonna blend this up until we get a fine mixture, like a fine crumb mixture. This is what we want the mixture to be like. I'm gonna pulse it up a little bit more because it's not as smooth as I would like it. That is the perfect consistency that I want. I also forgot to mention the amount of Oreos that we need is 7 ounces of Oreo cookies or 200 grams of Oreo cookies. So I have a Springform pan here. Now it does say to use a 7-inch or 18 centimeter round Springform pan. I think this is 9. I don't have a smaller one than this. This is my smallest one. So hopefully the crust will be fine in this. So we're just gonna empty this out and we are going to press tightly so that it creates the crust on the bottom. Now, when I was looking at this recipe, he does actually have a video linked to how he makes this. He does not make a lip with the crust, so it is just like a base layer. It's not like a pie where it has like an edge to it. So it's just a flat bottom. That is good and tight in there. We are gonna put this in the freezer for 30 minutes now. We have to get some gelatin kind of blooming in a bowl because it has to sit for about 5 minutes. So to this bowl, I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. Definitely use fresh lemon juice if you have it, like freshly squeezed lemon juice. I unfortunately don't have any lemons, so I'm just gonna use this. And then we're gonna add 1.5 teaspoons of gelatin. I'm just gonna use this gelatin. We're just gonna add that to the lemon juice. And then we're just gonna stir it in slightly. And then we're just gonna leave this for 5 minutes and just kind of let the gelatin absorb all of that, and it's called blooming. So we're gonna let that bloom. Now to a saucepan, I am going to add 300 grams or 10.5 ounces of strawberries is what the recipe calls for, but I'm actually using a combination of raspberries and I had some strawberries left over, so we're just gonna add these to a saucepan. It says to cut the strawberries up into like just little pieces. So we'll just cut these up a bit. Really nice time of year because we're actually in both strawberry, raspberry, and blueberry season is just starting also. So I am gonna actually probably end up going and picking up a couple more, like a flat still of strawberries. That way I can put some more in the freezer because I still have to make strawberry jam this year. But I thought I would do that maybe in the fall when it's a little bit cooler outside. I think that's it for the strawberries. So now we'll just add the raspberries on top of that. And now we just need to use our immersion blender and we're just gonna blend these up to puree them. So I'm gonna turn my element on to a medium heat. I'm gonna add in a 1/4 cup of sugar, or 50 grams, and then 2 tablespoons of cornstarch, or 16 grams. You could also use arrowroot. And we have our bloomed gelatin here, so we're just gonna add that to the pot also. We are going to whisk this until it gets thickened. So this is good and thick now. Really nice texture. So I just have a wire mesh strainer over top of a bowl, and I'm just gonna sift this into this bowl. Getting all the seeds out of it because we don't want those in the cheesecake. That's pretty good. Okay, so we have to let that mixture now come to room temperature before we can make the rest of the cheesecake. So what I'm gonna do right now is I will show you guys what I picked up last night for my Azure order. I'm just getting some of them out of the fridge because I had to put them in there last night. So again, more than 50% of my order actually did not ship. They were out of stock of it right before it ended up shipping out. So unfortunately, I did not get a lot of my stuff, but that's fine. I'll just order it next month. What I'll do for you guys also is I will leave the prices at the bottom of the screen like I normally do for my Azure hauls, just so that if you are interested in the product, you know how much I paid for it. So the first thing that I got was 6 of these butters. This is my favorite kind of butter. It just comes in the sticks versus like a huge block of it. I really like these ones. So I got 6 of those ones. It's called Mother's Choice. And they freeze really, really beautifully too. So these are gonna go right into the freezer. And then I picked up my favorite sour cream. Every single month I always pick 2 of these up. I actually have a little bit left over from my last month's order, so I'm gonna probably attempt to make like a sour cream bread or a sour cream cookie, something along those lines. I don't know, and if you know, if you can leave a comment below for me, but does sour cream freeze? I don't know if it does or not. If it does, then I would love to know, because I have a container that if it does freeze well, then I could definitely put it in the freezer. So I got 2 of these. And then because we are going to be entering into tomato season, and I love tomato, basil, mozzarella salad, I picked up a 5-pound block of some mozzarella cheese. I really like this kind. We normally get this. And believe it or not, this actually lasts about 3 months. It does not go moldy. When I need it, I just cut off little blocks of it. I try not to kind of expose it to a lot of air. I just leave it in its original packaging, and like I said, I just cut off little pieces as I need them. I picked up some A2 milk powder. There is 26 ounces in this container. I really like this stuff for making ranch dressing, and being that we're getting into garden season, I'm going to be making a lot of dips and dressings. So I bought this so that I can make my ranch mix. Plus I use this to make my hot cocoa mix. Another thing I picked up was some medjool dates. This is 1 pound. These are whole dates, so they have the pits in them. I picked this up because I make this delicious raw pie recipe. So it doesn't require any baking. It's all pretty much fresh ingredients. It's a freezer pie essentially, and it's delicious. It uses dates in the crust of it, so I picked up another 1 pound bag of them because I'm planning on making some more of that pie. It's so good. And then I picked up a 32 fluid ounce glass. This is one thing that I really like, and I thought it was going to be plastic, but it's glass, which is awesome. This is coconut aminos. I'm trying to get away from using soy sauce. Like, I'm trying to get away from soy products. So I'm going to try this coconut aminos. If we like this instead of the soy sauce, they do have a 1 gallon option available. I just didn't want to buy it if we didn't end up liking this particular brand. So we're going to give this guy a try, and then like I said, if we end up liking it, their 1 gallon was actually a pretty good price, so we'll probably end up getting 1 gallon of it. And then they put all of their cleaning products separate so they don't mesh with other stuff, which I like. So I have been making my own laundry soap and just loving it. So I picked up another 3 of these my glasses on, 5-ounce Castile soap bars. They're Dr. Bonner's, and these ones are the almond one, and I just love the smell of them. So I picked up 3 of them. It is cheaper when you do purchase more than 1 product. And then along the same lines as me making my laundry soap, I picked up another one of these oxygen powdered brightener, which essentially is just an OxiClean. So I picked up this because my laundry soap recipe does require this in it. So I have enough to make another batch. And then this is something new to me. Every single month I like to try something new from Azure Standard, and they actually have a whole new line of coconut products available now. So I picked up some classic coconut cream. So I picked up 3 of them. Again, cheaper to buy 3. The reason why I picked these up is because I have a smoothie recipe, and it actually calls for coconut cream in it, and I thought that I would kind of get stocked up on these because I really love that smoothie. And being that we're getting into the summer months, I'm probably going to end up drinking a lot more smoothies for breakfast and for lunch. So I thought I would get some of these and try them out because it is a new product to Azure Standard. And then the same thing, I picked up 3 of their new classic coconut milk. This I'm actually planning on using in a couple of different dishes. I have some Thai dishes and some Indian dishes that I want to try out, and they do call for coconut milk in it and coconut cream, so that's another reason why I got these. Plus, I like just having these on the shelf. It gives me an option if I don't want to use milk in something, I can kind of resort to using these coconut products. And these ones are good until 2025. So that is all that I got in my Azure order. It was a really small order. I had cheese on there, I had rice on there, I had Dijon mustard on there. There was just a whole list of stuff and none of it shipped. It all was out of stock. So I'm hoping that next month when I put my order in that they'll have it in stock, because if you've watched any of my other videos, you know that I had a little bit of a rice mishap where I actually unfortunately got some bugs in my rice. So I was hoping to be able to restock some of my rice, but unfortunately, they were all out of stock. So we're gonna wait for that just a little bit longer to come to room temperature. Once that comes to room temperature, we'll come back and we'll kind of assemble the main part of the cheesecake. This is now cooled to room temperature, so we will get everything else assembled. I have 13 ounces of cream cheese, or 370 grams of cream cheese. We're just gonna add that to the bowl, and this is at room temperature. And then what we're gonna do is we are gonna whisk this until it is fluffy. I'm just gonna keep stopping and scraping down the sides so that it all gets incorporated together. That's pretty good and fluffy. I have my wire mesh strainers. What I'm gonna add to this bowl is 2/3 cup of sifted icing sugar, or powdered sugar. Everybody calls it something different. Also 80 grams. That's what it is in measurements. And then we're gonna add 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. And then we're gonna mix this together well. And then we are gonna add our raspberry mixture that we made with the gelatin in it. It says to add it while you are mixing it, but I usually tend to make a big mess when I do it that way, so I'm just gonna add it all at once. We have that all mixed together really good. We're just gonna set it aside for a minute. Straight down the sides. Just gonna measure out 2/3 cup of heavy whipping cream. Add this to the bowl. This is a separate bowl we're adding this to. And what we're gonna do is we are gonna beat this until we get some soft peaks. Probably actually overmix that a little bit. Whoops. And so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this whipped cream mixture and we're just gonna fold it into our cream cheese mixture. Okay, that's pretty good and folded in. We took our base out of the freezer. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna pour our cream cheese mixture onto the base. It does say to shake the pan to make sure that it is even in it. You want to get it as smooth as possible on the top, it says. We have to chill this for the night. It does, what does it say exactly? It says chill until fully set, preferably overnight. So what I'm gonna do is we are just gonna put it in the fridge, and then I will come back probably tomorrow afternoon and show you guys what it looks like all set up. And then we'll cut into it and try a piece. I am looking forward to it. I did lick the spatula a little bit when I was cleaning the bowl, and it does taste delicious. So what I'm doing right now, this is not in the actual recipe, but I have some raspberries here. Just gonna give them a quick rinse. And then what I'm gonna do is just kind of put them on top of the cheesecake, just kind of where like a slice would be. That way you know that there's raspberries in this. If you're doing strawberries, you can definitely put strawberries on. I would imagine that you could do this with any berry. You could probably do it with a blackberry, you could probably do it with blueberries. Endless possibilities, endless. Just decorating it with raspberries everywhere. Just pushing them in just a bit so that when it sets, they really set in it. There we go. So we will put this in the fridge and let it chill, and then I will come back and I will see you guys tomorrow when we get to cut into it and taste it. I'm really, really looking forward to it. I love cheesecake, and this one looks really, really good. So I will see you guys tomorrow. So I just checked the cheesecake. I thought I would just, check it just in case. It is not the next day, it is tonight. And it looks like it's actually all set. So we are gonna cut into it and see what it looks like. So it looks halfway set. So what I did is I just took my knife and just glided around the edge of the cake just to kind of break it loose from the sides. And then now we will take this off. That's what it's looking like. Looks really, really delicious. One thing it does mention in the recipe is that if you have a hot house, it is good to put this in the freezer for about 30 minutes. It also recommends only keeping it out for a short amount of time because it will start to melt, because there's not a lot of gelatin to kind of keep it together. It is a very cream-based cake. Look at that. Delicious. So I am gonna go and enjoy this. I'm gonna go and give Steven this piece because he has been craving it also. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and I hope you have a great day or night whenever you are watching this, and I will see you on the next video. Bye guys.